Basketball game on Monday, but he apologized. Here's Jacoby on YouTube yesterday.
Hi, James family. I just want to apologize that I threw an orange peel at Bronny. And I proved that I was there January 20th. I have some of your stuff, like the purple Lakers jersey, the yellow one. It wasn't a hate crime. And I know that's what you thought, because I'm not a Boston Celtics fan, and I am really sorry.
It wasn't a hate crime, but I'm not a Celtics fan.
It's the cutest video I've ever seen in my life. Are you kidding me?
Hug him.
Not a hate crime.
Because I'm not a Celtics
I must
fan.
say this.
Oh
I must say
my
this.
God.
I must say this. The cutest thing that I've ever seen was the little kid in Jerry Maguire. That was number one for me. This might be number two. This might be number two. But I'll say this. I never said anything about it. It was never a big deal. The reason you realize the kid, and the kid was saying he threw it to get your attention. He was a fan and all of that other stuff. It's a beautiful thing. That's great parenting, by the way, because it's probably his parents that was videoing.
Yeah, you understand.
That's a beautiful thing.
You understand why the media reacted the way they did. We talked about it on the show. You were out that day, and Mark Spears and I talked about it. You understand, as the facts came out, you have to react to what you see.
Right.
And it's like, well, why are the parents allowing him to throw? Because hooliganism, right? Like, what do you think he's doing? He's not throwing it at him, it turns out, to express some kind of
trying to get his attention.
Anger.
Yeah.
He's just trying to, hey, Bronny, I'm a big fan. Here, look at me. His parents weren't sitting with him at the time, as he made clear. When they found out, because he moved up a couple rows, when they found out what happened, they made him confess to it and everything else. So all the negative reaction that the media had, I can understand why people say, boy, that's overreacting, knee-jerk. But based on the information that was had at the time, I think people's reactions were appropriate. Based on the new information, I think the reactions are still appropriate. I love that little kid. He's so and good for the parents.
I can't imagine how it is for LeBron to try to coach his son in this age with social media and like it's becoming like a cultural icon. Look, little Bronny. Like we're showing all the games on ESPN.
Yeah.
Like if you're 14, 15 years old, how do you deal with that fame at a young age? Like LeBron had it maybe at 16, 17, 18, but not at this early stage.
Jay, I told Molly and Max, they'll tell you this. I've never talked about Bronny James. I refuse to.
I'm with you on that.
Because I know who his father is, how big it is, and I want to be fair to that kid. You know how many people are looking to take shots at that young kid who is obviously, LeBron is a tremendous father, loves his child, and I love seeing him at his game, supporting his kid. And I cringe at the thought of anybody coming at Bronny in the wrong way because I know they'd be doing it because of his dad.
That needs to be a national
never talk
message
about him.
out there
I don't talk
And
about
let's
him.
not forget Dwayne Wade's son is also on the team.
I wish them nothing but the best.
A healthy culture should protect children. Let's put it that way.
By the way,
a healthy culture.
That LeBron would be playing the same night that Zion made his debut, considering how great those guys were coming out of high school and to make their NBA debut to much anticipation. By the way, LeBron and the Lakers in New York taking on the Knicks, he'd averaged 28.4 points in his career at Madison Square Garden, third all-time behind Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. He came out like, yo, this ain't just scary, this is about to be legendary. 19 first-half points for LeBron. He finished with 21. More on him in a moment because AD needed to shine as well. He struggled in the game against the Knicks down in L.A., finishing the season low 5 points and 2 of 8 shooting. This game a little different. Matter of fact, LeBron and AD had 30 points in the first half between them. The rest of the Lakers had 18. Fourth quarter, Lakers up 6. Trying to get some feel-good after what happened to them in Boston. Tough turnaround, Jay, for AD. Doesn't matter. And he was just straight eating off that Knicks defense. No ketchup, no hot sauce, no nothing. Lakers up 10. Marcus Morris, though, trying to keep his squad in it. That's a 3. He had a team-high 20. They're down 7. They're down 6 with a minute to go when LeBron comes up with a steal on Julius Randle. Kyle Kuzma filling the lane, fundamental basketball, but AD is there as well. Big man run the floor. He had 28 points, 5 boards, 5 assists. After the game, though, New York reporters being New York reporters.
With all the thoughts over the years of Knicks fans desperately wishing that you'd come here, if your son gets drafted by the Knicks one day, will you consider playing with him here?
Man, my son in the 9th grade, man. I'm trying to worry about what project you got to turn in tomorrow. That's what we worried about right now, you know, and that's what's most important. School, home, and being the best big brother he can be.
All right, after picking up 21 points on Wednesday, LeBron now just 45 points shy of passing Kobe, third place on the NBA's all-time scoring list. Now, for future reference, he owns 21 45-point games in his NBA career. That's the most recent one, though, coming back in November of 2018. Will he need one game? Probably not. Probably need two, but nonetheless, he's capable, clearly. Next game is Thursday across the East River there in Brooklyn.
Anticipated NBA debut since LeBron James. There's Zion Williamson, his first NBA basket. Pulling the trigger and hitting a three. Lob to Zion, and he finishes. Zion for four. Welcome to the NBA.
Are you in the zone?
I guess so.
That old adage of all you need to do is see the last 2 minutes of an NBA game. In Zion's debut, all you needed to see was the fourth quarter, and soon enough, you're going to have to start watching from jump. 5-4 in just 12 points and turnovers. Got on the bike, getting loose, minutes restrictions, and then the fourth quarter started, and Zion was on fire from long range. Normally, his shots in college were like 3 feet and now it's just the three-pointer, and Tim Legler talked about that earlier in the broadcast, just the spin move, getting behind the defender. And then if you're not going to give Zion the respect, Twitter will. John Morant, yes, sir. I think Ja's going to end up being the Rookie of the Year, picked right behind Zion, and then Zion just staying with it, just relentless, which is something we've seen since we started watching him, frankly, at Spartanburg, out in high school. And then Zion from downtown, incredible run in a 3:08 span. He did a little bit of everything, including knocking down 4 threes. He scored on 6 straight Pelicans possessions. Somebody want to stick a hand in his face? Yeah, the Spurs ended up winning the game, but this is what people wanted to see. Simply put, here's Zion on getting hot late.
You had not hit 4 threes, I think, in a game in college. Were you in the zone?
I guess so. When I'm gonna just say, when you're not able to move around, do athletic movements for a while, and the only thing you can do is just shoot, spot up jumpers, I guess that was a result of that.
He had 22. Even the opposition was duly impressed.
He was finding his way, He was, taking his time out there. I thought, he just played confident at the end, and he got hot. Guys get hot in this league, you got to live with it.
I think what you saw there is a taste of what, once we really get settled in and he gets settled in, I think you can see that there's a lot of things that we can do with him, and there's a lot of potential there.
He's special, anybody been following basketball the last few years, see the talent that he has, hope he be able to stay healthy, be able to put it together, and sky's the limit for him.
He did a good job of asserting himself, and when he was open, having the confidence to pull the threes, and him getting to the basket, and him causing so much attention.
For me, I was hyped. After the first one, I was like, all right, cool. And then the second one came, the second three, and I was like, all right, boy, you've been practicing. And then the third one, and from that point on, man, just the energy was crazy. But we've seen him do this since high school. This is what he does. So as exciting as it was, is it really that much of a surprise?
For a little more perspective on Zion, we bring in Mark Spears, the SportsCenter, had a first courtside seat there tonight. We knew he was going to be on a minute restriction, Mark, but when he started cooking, the fans clearly wanted Zion to stay out there. But there was the interaction between Zion and Alvin Gentry when he exited the game. Can you tell us more about what transpired between that two in that conversation?
Well, I think Alvin Gentry was with the fans, too. He wanted him in the game as well. The person that didn't want him in the game, or persons, was the medical staff. Actually, when Zion was cooking, Mike, when he was hot, the medical staff wanted Alvin Gentry to take him out of the game. Alvin Gentry looked at him crazy like, are you watching this? Squeezed 2 more minutes out of what he could. And then when the timeout came, they took Zion out. He had to explain to Zion that he pushed for him to stay longer, but Zion pleaded his case. He said, I want to help my team win. Please let me help my team win. Sorry, kid. Sit down next to me. I wonder if we have the mic. I know we had that mic to Alvin Gentry, and I wish we could hear that conversation that he had. But look, Zion was preaching to the choir. Coach wanted to keep him in, but the medical staff was worried about tomorrow, not tonight.
Yeah, this